Sunday's deadly crash at the Waukesha Christmas Parade has many wondering if we could see some new security measures in parades in the future.
Down in Manitowoc, they added officers for its Lakeshore Holiday Parade tonight. Fox 11's Ben Kronforst has asked police if even more will be done in the future.
Holiday parades always carry tradition. But with tragedy, there can sometimes be untraditional questions.
I did question it. I was a little nervous about coming out, making sure that we weren't, in an intersection for sure, but that doesn't mean that anything couldn't happen, so.
The horrific event in Waukesha unfolded as Manitowoc police officers were going over the security plan for the Lakeshore Holiday Parade.
We don't really call extra officers in anyway, but besides our officers that are already working this shift in the first place, we do have extra officers that are brought in.
Those officers were stationed at high traffic areas. City Hall was also deemed a reunification spot just in case of emergency.
We pretty much kind of would use the same type of responses if we had a mass shooting or something like that, mass casualty, where we're going to try to find a location to bring people safely to and reunify them with family, and then also deal with the scene.
We wanted to know if even more changes could be coming when police have more time to assess parade security, like perhaps bringing in large trucks to better block access points like you see at other populated events like Packers games.
As tragic as the Waukesha situation was, it was an isolated incident. If we started seeing this happening more and more, yeah, we would be looking into finding ways to block off areas more securely.
There's a lot of police presence, so hopefully it remains a safe evening for everybody.
Our hearts go out in prayers to those families. How devastating at this time of the year.
Just before Appleton's parade kicked off with its dancers, marching bands, and hundreds of eyes glued to College Avenue, parade goers held a moment of silence as a procession began the 50th annual Christmas parade downtown, honoring the 6 people killed and dozens more injured during the tragic event that took place at Waukesha's Christmas parade only 48 hours earlier.
I think our community is binding together. My heart goes out to Waukesha.
Appleton Police did say that they revamped their safety plans 4 years ago for larger events like this. And for the parade, they added barricades at every intersection along the parade route.
I think Appleton has a great plan in place to keep everybody safe, and I think it's important to show that we can stay strong after something like this happens and come together as a community and make this night happen.
Many parade goers said Appleton made the right decision to still host this year's event, and we're happy to be back watching the community parade after last year's cancellation.
Missing last year was huge with the COVID protocol, so this is really nice. Tragedies happen, and I think for the most part people will get through it.
Projected to cost up to $25 million to move the coal piles out of downtown Green Bay. To secure that money, Brown County believes it would help to have the coal piles' potential future home ready to go.
With all the grants that are out there, the farther we can advance the project, the more likely that we'll see successful funding.
About $2.7 million is already being spent to buy the former Pulliam power plant site at the mouth of the Fox River. The county is now putting out a request for proposals for an engineering consulting firm to get the site shovel-ready for the work that needs to be done.
So that's filling in the old slip, that's dredging the river, that's putting in a 1,700-foot steel dock wall, that's putting in mooring structures for the ship to moor to, security, fencing, stormwater, everything to get that site able to accommodate vessels.
The county hopes to have an engineering firm selected by April. The rest of the timeline depends on securing the necessary money.
It's been talking about for a lot of years, but I'm looking at probably 3 to 4 years down the road probably to get things really where they belong. It could be sooner, but we're hoping for sure in 3 to 4 years.
The other major piece is the city of Green Bay needs to work out a deal with the owner of the coal piles property, C. Rice Coal Company.
Is C. Rice, they're willing and negotiating still?
They're at the table, but it's really going to come down to if they want to divest their land or not, or what, that type of arrangement is really between the city and C. Rice.
If a deal isn't worked out, county officials say they'll still put the land to good use, as the property wasn't purchased solely for the coal piles.
Trucking today is so slow, so bringing stuff by ships is great. We're rail, so it's going to be a boon for everybody, I think.